Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. First of all, today's live stream is sponsored by Mint Mobile. So, um, yeah, get premium wireless data connection with Mint Mobile as low as $15 a month. There is the link if you guys want to go ahead and sign up. Um, you use my link there, and yeah, you can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month. Pay 3, 6 month, or annual intervals depending on what best fits your needs. And yeah, so they are today's channel sponsor. Big shout out to them. So let's kind of get into the whole question that people may have about um, Boost Infinite, right? Boost Infinite, of course, you know, the whole thing with the cyber attack kind of died down a little bit. So I wanted to jump on live here, first of all, because I missed you guys and wanted to say hello. Second of all, you know, I've been working with BTech Reviews, and we are definitely really hitting our stride with our wrestling podcast. So if you guys definitely, you know, want to check that out, I'll put the link up later on so you guys can check that out. But we got Barry Sell in the building. Hey, how's it going? Got Legendary Tech in here too as well. Hello, Mint. Yeah, it's a free for all chat out and everything like that. You know, to be quite honest with everybody. But this is what I'm seeing a lot of questionings about is where's this dynamic switching, right? Where is it? So definitely, you know, if you are catching this live, go ahead and hashtag the power of three. As that's been Boost Infinite's slogan, the power of three networks. Definitely you know, put that as a hashtag. If you're replay crew, replay hashtag the power of three as well. All right, so let's kind of get into it. Why haven't we seen the dynamic switching as it was supposed to be promised in quarter one? Sorry, why haven't we seen this yet? Where is this? And you know, to be quite honest with everybody, you know, realistically, from the standpoint, Dish is still recovering from the cyber attack. You know, we got information again. Shout out to Barry Sell. We got the ransom note that was left on their over 10,000 computers. You know, we pretty much got confirmation of what we expected, right? There are good question here. So I'm about to get into that. Okay. So right now, for those who want to know, where is this dynamic switching? Where's the power of three at? The power of three is not available for Boost Infinite at this time. Why people are saying that it's only going to Boost Mobile and not Boost Infinite is beyond me, because the power of three was more advertised on Boost Infinite before it launched to start taking beta customers. That was one of the biggest things they were always talking about. The fact that Project Genesis is testing out this ability, or was testing out basically Dish's network. But Project Genesis customers are already able to do this, if you kind of think about it, right? Because if they're in an area where, if they happen to travel to an area where there's no Dish connectivity, they don't just drop of not having any service at all. They immediately are put on AT&T or possibly T-Mobile. So Project Genesis customers that are beta testing Dish network or Dish 5G, they automatically already have that to a degree. Now, for it going out to customers, basically, you know, I know people would say that's a pretty dumb move, but they've opened it to Boost Mobile prepaid customers as a way of testing it out. And it's not every Boost Mobile prepaid customer can get this, right? I know there's people that live in my city that have seen my podcast and have emailed me because they went to a Boost Mobile store here and they weren't able to get, you know, what's called the Rainbow SIM. Its true name is the B5G SIM, is what it's called. But yeah, they couldn't get it. And that's because we don't have Dish in my city just yet. Like, they're still building it out. Like, one person, I think his name is Hector. He has his own YouTube channel. I think he picked up Dish signal on the south side of my city, and that's about the only place he's really picked it up at. So it's not even It's not even on here. Don't mind my dogs. They're 5-star security alarms. Chihuahuas bark all the time. But the only place in my state that we know of that has dish connectivity is Prescott, Arizona. Right, and I don't live in Prescott, so I can't go and request that SIM from my Boost Mobile prepaid line, right? Because I have 2 prepaid lines with Boost Mobile. One of them is the legacy, been around since the days of Sprint. The other one is their newly one on the AT&T network, and I just can't go and get a SIM for that. I mean, I could probably drive up to Prescott and see if they have it and get it, see if they can activate it on my line, and then see if it makes any type of a difference. But technically, I'm not able to because my city doesn't have it here. So it's only in select markets. And when they mean by select markets, they mean markets that already have Dish's network built out and it's active and live. So no, it's not only going to Boost Mobile, because that is why Boost Infinite's, their whole slogan is, it says a different type of postpaid. What makes it a different type of postpaid is that not only does it use its native network connectivity, but it uses its competitors' network as well, AT&T and T-Mobile. So that's what's supposed to make it stand out. Besides the fact that early adopters of Boost Infinite get to keep that $25 price, because we still don't know if Dish intends to change it up later on when they have some momentum behind them, where they're going to change it up to the $50 plan or something. We don't know. But, to be quite honest with everybody, the whole reasoning behind all of it, the whole reasoning that we're not seeing dynamic switching make any strides, we're not seeing any push, is because Boost, Dish, they are in litigation. They're wrapped up in litigations right now. There is class action lawsuits because of what happened on the cyber attack. And you know what? Like, I don't expect anyone to drop their to drop off those class action lawsuits. Like, when I did the live stream, when I talked about what Boost faced, why we were all able to connect with our phones, but we weren't able to connect to customer service. What initially had to be done, and that was they had to rebuild out their systems from scratch. They never paid the ransom. They never got access back to their actual system. They had to just basically rebuild it. And that's not an easy thing to do. And again, like I said, I commend Dish for being able to do that. It hurt them really bad. It's just, at the end of the day, there's no denying it. It hurt them really, really bad. So right now they're tied up in litigations with class action lawsuits. Also, there's other lawsuits that they're starting to face with investors and things like that. So Dish has got their work cut out for them, right? They're losing customers left and right because of what happened, right? Those that are able to access their accounts, those that are able to contact customer care, are requesting for their port pins. They are porting out to different providers. Don't matter where they go, they're just going, right? Boost, the name in itself, will always catch crap, no matter what. They could be on Down Detector for 45 minutes, and the masses will just absolutely trash Boost and destroy their reputation because they were down for 45 minutes. I got $200 and 5 years credit monitoring from T-Mobile with the data breach. Yeah. And and they're going to have to do something like that. So besides the fact that their churn rate has to be exponentially high compared to any other carrier right now for the customers that's leaving them, but then they also, that's revenue lost, right? That's customers that were paying monthly, no longer paying that monthly. So they're losing money there. They lost money for the amount of business that people could not activate when they were just about to switch over to them right when the cyber attack happened. So that's missed revenue there. And you have the lawsuits, the different lawsuits. It's not just one lawsuit, but there's multiple lawsuits. And, time for the lawyers to step in and head to court and, be on behalf of Dish and Boost. That's money lost there. The payouts to customers, that's money lost there. The customers who are getting 1 month of service, a $25 credit here recently, that's money lost there, right? That's money they're giving away. So there's more money going out than coming in. if you kind of think about it, just from the wireless side, right? So the TV side, like Sling TV and Dish Network, has to carry that load. They have to carry that burden of revenue loss, and that's a tough spot to be in. So that does kind of make a play into the ability for Dish and Boost to roll out dynamic switching on the scheduled trajectory path they thought. They thought they were going to get it out in Q1. We're almost done with Q1. And it's not here. It's not here for Boost Infinite, right? It costs money. It costs money to build a network, okay? Putting up a single tower is not $10,000, right? I think it's like over $1 million just to construct one tower. And right now Dish is literally saying that they don't have money, right? They're doing things to try to raise capital. So they're obviously, needing money, according to them. And if a company is sitting there saying that we need money, then, in my eyes and in my opinion, that means that you don't have the money to continue building out your network. Mind you, they are required by the FCC to have 70% of the country covered by June of this year. Okay? I don't know where they're currently sitting at right now, but I know it ain't 70%. So these hurdles, okay, these hurdles are going to put a setback to things. So the tri-network switching, that's delayed. And I know some people don't think realistically. A lot of people think with their emotions nowadays, but I'm just going to chalk it up to what it is and address it all on this live stream in one shot. Share it. I'm going to share the link out later so those people can see it. But you can't take a pile of shit and compress it and turn it into a diamond. That's not how it works. Whether you think the company is good or you think the company should just be sold off or shut down or whatever, point case being, if you're not spending money for the services, they're not getting your money. They're not able to take that money and reinvest it into the network and build out to cover 70% of the country. And that's why I mean you can't take shit and compress it and turn it into a diamond. That only works with coal at a percentage of a time. You can compress coal and put it under immense pressure and maybe a diamond comes out of it. That's a possibility. But taking a pile of shit and doing that, you'll never get a diamond out of it. Let's see. Boost Infinite suspended my account. Rather than admit that they were hacked and lost my credit card number, they called me a deadbeat. Hello, Verizon. Well, I can tell you right now that the customer care rep that called you a deadbeat is 9 times out of 10 they're fired. They don't stand for that, and it's not just them. Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T would not stand for any customer rep calling somebody a deadbeat. And that sucks that if that happened to you, right? Of course, the fact of them saying that, that they want to admit that they were hacked. Here's the thing you have to understand about that, though, when it comes to contact centers. Contact center agents cannot speak on things that they have not been trained to talk about. So even though those representatives that were back on manning the phones, what up, Sneeze? Salute to you too, sir. Even though that they were back, they were answering the phones, they were in the chat chatting with you, right? If they hadn't taken, and that's up to Dish if Dish decides to do that. But if they never took those agents off the phones, off the chats for like a 1-hour training to talk to them about how to handle these questions, because they do that. Every contact center does this. It's not just them, but like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, they all do this. They will take you off the call. So they'll do it by pods, right, or teams, however they have the floor layout. They will take you off the phone and put you in a classroom that's on facility with one of the trainers to be trained on how to address these questions. They'll put up the most common questions being asked, and then we'll put up likely what Dish wants you to respond to it. Put it in your own words, but outline this. That's how they're going to do it. So, the idea that you can call, customer care and that they're just supposed to tell you everything that's going on that you hear in the news from like Android Authority and Droid Life and Fierce Wireless and Best MVNO. That's not how it works. They just can't. They cannot, because they are representing the company on a phone call. Anything they say can be held to dish, right? Like if I was working there and I told you guys, like, because of the hack, I think you guys should get 1 year of service for free. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ask them to give you a year for free, right? Because I said that, you can hold the company to that. You can hold me to that. You can hold me as a representative of the company. Sorry, as a representative of the company to that. And sue and possibly even win and get it. So this is why they don't just openly tell you, like, yeah, we were hacked. We're so sorry about that. Like, they can't speak on things they don't know about. We would love it, right? Because that's what we want. We want transparency. We want something, right? But that's to the company that has to draft a press release and put that out for us to read. But getting that information from a care rep, never go that route. And I've told this before back in 2017 when I broke down the walls and started telling people how to navigate Sprint, how to deal with Sprint customer care and Sprint retention, because I was working for Sprint retention. And that's one of the things I made clear was, don't ask reps over the phone why such and such happened. If it's not something that they're trained to speak about, they are not allowed to talk about it. They just can't. A good point, Tito. Companies need to stay in control. Yes, I agree. So, but the other part to your statement that they, not only telling you that they were hacked and I don't know if, as far as the whole credit card part, they can't really tell you that. They can't tell you that we know for sure they got your credit card. They could say what information was taken, but to do it account by account basis, no. And you know what? Like, if you kind of think about how these hack groups are, they're all in the same way. They will attack a company, they will encrypt their systems, they will hold it ransom. Once they hold it ransom, they will request that the company pay them money to recover their systems back. At the same time that they're trying to, to extort money out of that company to get a hold of their systems back, they have already ciphered many customers' information because they're going to sell it on the dark web. This is why we have scam call centers that have a great list of contacts. The other day, I just got text by somebody who tried to play on thinking that I'm single and said her name was Amy and that she was looking for her friend Olivia. Literally text my phone number. And then I was like, no, sorry, wrong number. And then they were like, oh, you're so nice. Would you mind if you and I talked? And I'm like, this is one of those hackers. Because at first I thought it was a wrong number person. And sure enough, after 5 minutes of just playing around, then the person was like, I go on WhatsApp to chat. Can you go on WhatsApp and chat with me? I'm like, bull honky, no way. I'm not going on there with you, freaking scammer. But I mean, that's how it is. They can control their kingdom of nothing as customers move on to carriers who provide phone service. And that's the whole thing, man, is that you have options. These are the reasons why the FCC wanted like 4 carriers, right? This is the reasons why. You know what I mean? You dislike Boost Infinite, Boost Mobile, and Dish? That's great. Like, you don't have to like them, man. And I hope that, you are in a much better situation with a better provider that fits your needs and what your wants is. And now that you are away from Boost Infinite and Boost Mobile, you really have nothing to complain about because you're not with them. One thing I will kill is, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Stringer News 1, but I'm going to say this to a lot of people. When you leave a company because your experiences is bad, there's no need for you to try and convince everybody else to leave them, right? Everybody else can make their own decisions. And there's no win or gains for you to try so hard unless there's something in it for you. And I've noticed this 9 times out of 10, those people who are adamant, like, screw T-Mobile, you should go here, you should go there. 9 times out of 10, those people they have what I like to call the coupons. They got coupon tickets for you. And that is, if you're one of those people that's like, yeah, I hate Boost Infinite, I want to go somewhere else. Oh, we'll come to Verizon, and I got a share code. You'll get $50 off your first bill. And you get what I'm saying? It's always something for them. So like, if you genuinely dislike Boost Infinite for how everything went down with the cyber attack and whatnot, no one's saying you have to be with them. Just because I choose to remain with the company, that doesn't mean that I think everybody else should. I think people should go where they want to go. Like, if you can't trust this company with the information that's been, it's just been taken with the cyber attack, leave. Call your bank, change your debit card number, take your business elsewhere. Go somewhere else where you're going to be happy. Okay, if Boost Infinite goes down as a company and is completely, axed out of the equation, so be it. It's not the end of the world. I've been asked, where am I going? Well, where am I going if Boost Infinite was to disappear? If Dish was to completely dismantle it and step out of the game? Well, I got Mobile X. I paid $25 for the exact same plan that I have on Boost Infinite. So, I'm good. I can go to Metro by T-Mobile. I can go to Mint Mobile, who's, again, like I said in the beginning, is the channel sponsor of today's live stream. I can go to them. I can go to Google Fi. I can go anywhere. There's always options. Like, I don't play this brand loyalty to a degree type of thing. And I think people really got to kind of stop that. It's kind of lame. It's lame as hell. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are people who report on stuff. There are people that report on bad business dealings, bad decisions with companies. And that's just reporting. That's just good journalism, But at the end of the day, the brand loyalty stuff, I think that's just hot garbage, hot mess. So in closing to that response to you, Stringer News One, I hope you are completely satisfied where you are and that you're having the best service that you feel is fantastic for you, because that's all I would ever want anyone to have. Back to the dynamic switching thing, we're not going to see that for a while. Not until, Dish figures something out with all the litigation it's wrapped up in, recovering. And they're not even really, I wouldn't put Boost Infinite in the path of like recovering from the cyber attack. I still say that they are feeling the effects of the cyber attack. There are still customers that are leaving. There's customers that maybe, once customer service was back up and running and they got their 1 month credit for free, they took that 1 month credit for free, so they're hanging in for one more month. But now that it's coming to the end of that free month they got, now they're back to square one question: do I stay or do I go? And they chose to leave, and they contacted Boost Infinite and asked for their port pin. So Boost is really, really, really in a bad spot. I see a lot of things. I read a lot. I don't know. My wife said I'm the tech creep because I watch other people's videos and watch their live streams and stay quiet and listen to what they say and read people's comments and perspectives on things. And I'm just like, okay, these are how people think. And you know what? I'm gonna drive a nail into the heart of this little idea. But Boost rebranding themselves is not going to help them. It's not. Taking away the Boost Mobile name, the Boost Infinite name, and calling it Dish Wireless or calling it Genesis Wireless that other people suggested, it's not going to help. And I will tell you why. Blaming the customer for a failure is never a good business practice. When did they blame the customer? Just want to know. I just want to know your take on it. And you know what? I'll drop the serious bomb. I work for Boost Infinite. I work at their contact center here. So I'm going to drop that bomb so people understand too. Not only talking from a place of guesstimation, I'm also talking of a place of being inside the facility and working with other customer care reps. So, but anyways, killing the name Boost and rebranding is not going to help because people don't trust newly branded companies that come in. So yes, they could build up steam on the back of a new name and slowly build themselves from ground zero up. But Boost already has a recognized name, regardless if they did good or bad, Yeah. I'm guessing Boost could lose 1/4 million subs, so a quarter of a million subs from their base due to all this, maybe more. Some people are only there taking the free stuff. Well, okay, so they said that your credit card declined. So like, I love having these type of debates because it really lets me in on the mentality of customer versus business. So you say they blamed you by saying that your credit card was declined. You checked. Your credit card was, you have ample credit to cover it. Okay, so here's the thing to that, right? And let me put it to you like this. So systems are not 100% ironed out. They're not. Now, they can say that your card declined because they try to run it on their system and it could say decline. Like, if you're not seeing their computer screen, don't call them a liar. Okay? The same way, like, if you were calling in for support and you said that your phone says no signal, because I can't see your screen, I'm not going to call you a liar if on my system it says that you are currently active and using data, right? Because I can't see your screen. So you never know. Yeah. And I mean, that's one aspect to it, because there are people that just make up stuff over the phone because they don't know what to say. But if they tried running your payment and it declined for them. That's not, I mean, that doesn't make them a liar. On their end, it shows decline. What do you want them to do? Take a screenshot of the computer? They can't. There's CPNI and customer and private information on that. They can't. That is against the law. The FCC will hound them on a freaking huge fine for doing that. But I think by them saying that it declined is not necessarily blaming you. Now, if the person literally said that, no, you're lying, you're broke, you ain't got money, why are you trying to lie to us? If they said those words to you, then that's blaming you. But if they said that to you, then why didn't you request a supervisor? Boost Infinite postpaid is still beta. Boost Mobile prepaid has been around for a long time. They're not the same thing, alternate reality. They're two different things. One's postpaid, one's prepaid. Postpaid is still in beta. Maybe they didn't like your credit score. They're liars. They don't represent my credit card company. That's their fault. It was never declined. You don't know. You're talking to someone that deals with this type of stuff, and I've seen this. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've ran into 10 of those. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I'm telling you, the system does pop declined. That doesn't mean that you're wrong or you're a liar or you know, it doesn't mean none of that. I'm not putting that in that context. What I'm saying is that the whole mess of getting things back up and everything like that, the system in itself, not 100%. Okay, you're talking about having something build up from scratch quickly as possible. Do you think perfection can be built in a quick time? Hell no. So it's still on our end, right? I'm not taking that part away that it's not our fault. It is our fault because if our system is faulty, if our system has bug issues and things like that, and processing payments, that's our fault. That's not on you as a customer. But I don't think they were blaming it. If they did blame you, like if you say they blamed you in that way, always never just take that and walk away from it. From any customer rep. Never take that and just walk away from it. Always request a supervisor. If they hang up on you, call back at a different rep. Immediate request for supervisor. Go from there, go up. Go up the chain. Don't just take that crap from them. Because we don't have perfect, customer representatives. We have some that are just there for the paycheck. They don't give a shit about their job. They're just there to make a paycheck and go home. You got people that actually want to provide customer service and do a good job of doing it. And that's the sad part because the ones that actually want to do their job and want to help customers end up getting the customers that were treated like crap from a bad rep, so they get shitted on. And then they don't want to. So but like you have all these negative things to say about the company, and that's cool. I hope that you've taken your business elsewhere. Like, just answer that. Are you still with Boost Infinite or did you leave? Yeah, we have a problem, Sneed, with some of the reps over there that literally just make up answers on the phone because they don't know what the hell to say. And this is the outcome, right? You got a pissed off customer who feels like that they're being treated like shit and lied to. This is what happens. This is why that, like during the training process and everything, it's always said, like, if you don't know the answer, do not be afraid to tell the customer, I don't know. I would rather have my reps say, I don't know, and be told, well, you don't know what you're talking about, and the customer hang up on them, versus making up stuff and then the customer get pissed off because it just doesn't add up. 1 and 1 does not equal 3 type of thing. I hope so too. Okay, Stringer. I think honestly, you're just huffing and puffing because you want to. Because literally, I just told you that we've had that problem where it shows declined on our end on the system. Like, I'm literally even telling you this, and this is about as far as I'll go. I'm not going to go into the intricacies of the system itself, but it has done it to other people. You're not the only one. You're not the one in a million. There are thousands that it has done to. I'm not saying that they're right and you're wrong. What I'm saying is it still falls on Boosted Infinite's fault. Faulty system, faulty, just tools that they work with. Falls on the company. It's never the customer's fault. But what I'm saying is just because they said that it declined, they're not blaming you unless they said you're lying to us. So I will now confront you that question. Did they tell you over the phone, you're lying to us, you don't have money on your card? That exact statement. Because otherwise you're just blowing steam, bro. Like, take your business elsewhere. Like I said before, just go elsewhere. You don't have to stay with a company that aggravates you. I tried Boost Infinite for a month, but then I switched to Visible. $15 a month deal. Visible works. There you go. There's go to Visible. A lot of people love Visible because of the structure and everything like that. And even right now, I think if you port in your number from any carrier that's non-Verizon over to Visible, you can get the Visible Basic for $25 instead of $30 a month. It's like giving you a car, but it has multiple different problems. Possibly. It happens all the time. It doesn't only happen with Boost Infinite. It's happened when I work consumer cellular. It's happened when I work Sprint. It's happened when I work Verizon. Like, these things do happen. I'm just challenging them on the fact because, I know like he's venting frustrations, and that's totally cool. But I'm hoping that he left Boost Infinite too and didn't stay with the company and went somewhere else, because then kind of pointless to huff and puff if you're staying with the company. I would go elsewhere. I would tell anybody that if you don't feel like you're getting the best service from Boost Infinite, take your business elsewhere. Take it elsewhere. Because the last thing I want anybody who's watching this live stream and anyone who follows my channel, the last thing I would ever want you guys is to be dissatisfied with your phone service. It's no sweat off my ball sack just because I work for the company that you guys leave. It's no sweat off my ball sack if you go anywhere. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't kill me. I still have a job. My job is to take care of customers and provide the best service I can within bounds of what I'm able to do. I can't give everyone $1,000 credit, but I can try to get you some sort of credit for frustrations. That's my only goal, is to take care of that. Things that I consider in the realistic bounds, in the realistic realm of things. Yeah, it's frustrating. Sometimes it can be. Yeah, straight talk wireless. But because of all these things, because of customer churn, because of the litigations, because of all these things, it has put a setback for Boost Infinite to release out the tri-network connections. It is what it is. We have to wait. We have to wait and see. We have to wait. Who knows? Maybe they go under. Maybe they sell. Maybe Peter Adderton's petition garners enough signatures for him to try to buy back Boost Mobile. But then I beg the question, what is Peter going to do with Boost Mobile and Mobile X? What the hell is he going to do with both of those? Or is he going to run them as separate entities? Is he going to try to merge them? Is he going to try to adopt the Mobile X thing to Boost Mobile? Is he going to merge it all together and drop the Mobile X name and switch back to Boost Mobile? Are we getting those pay for what you need, pay for what you use plans? We don't know. If Boost Infinite goes away, who comes up to become the fourth carrier? Do we really stand a better chance of having three companies to deal with for it? I say no on the three network part, because that just gives them more leverage to leverage out the amount of what they charge for their rates. It gives them the leverage, because if there's less options, it means that you only have two other options to go to, right? If you're a T-Mobile customer pissed off that your Magenta plan got price hiked to $150 per line, hypothetically speaking there, right? If there's only three carriers and T-Mobile knows there's only two other options you're going to, and they're price hiking just as well. So then it no longer becomes the consumer wins in that scenario. It becomes the point of, you're gonna eat shit no matter what, but whose shit smells the less? Like who has the less smelling shit? That's not how any type of experience with any company should be, customer to business relations wise. This is why that I'm for competition. I'm for having four carriers. This is why that even though Boost Infinite doesn't do it perfectly, T-Mobile doesn't do it perfectly. Companies don't do it perfectly. But my reasoning is why that I don't want Boost Infinite to fail is we lose an option. And we lose an option that tips the scale in favor of the companies, not the consumers. That's the reason why. Oh, are we gonna get into debates with me tonight? Because I'm ready to go. During the outage, they were not lying. They were providing no information whatsoever to customers who were trapped. Easy to say to take your business elsewhere. It took 3 weeks for me to port out. What do you expect them to do? Fly pigs out of their ass and be able to provide you a port pin when they don't have access into the system? Think realistically, Bob. All right. This is one of the things that annoys me with the tech space and everything, is that people just think that these companies can fart magic, dust and rainbows. If they couldn't get in to even pay your bill, what makes you think they can get you a port pin? So yeah, it sucked that you couldn't get in because their system was taken. And they're not the only company that's been attacked. They're not the only company that these cyber attackers are targeting. They target lots of companies. This is not this is not an unknown thing. This ain't the first time it's ever happened. It's the first time it's happened to a phone service provider in that magnitude, yes. But think logically here for a second. And again, I know how the contact centers work. They can't speak on things that the company does not want them to talk about, because they represent the company and they are liable to everything that they say. So, yeah, it's easy to say it. I know it is. I agree with you on that. Everyone else had to wait, technically. But this is why a lot of people came in, and I don't think the people that are saying this particular thing I'm about to say, it meant it from a very bad place. But a lot of them came in, and yes, they didn't have to call people stupid. But the overlining thing was that if you're going to try something new, something that's called beta, that you should never port your number over to them to try them out. Right? Seriously, 3 people I know of that were like, hey, yeah, I ported my number over to them, and now they won't give me my number back. And it's like, yeah, well, they can't give you a port pin to something that won't generate. But one, Boost Infinite is beta. It's not out of beta, right? Mobile X is out of beta, but Boost Infinite, as far as I know, is still in beta. And 2, they're a new thing. You could have got a new number with Boost Infinite if you were going to try them out at $25 a month. And if they turned out to be fantastic, then you could have opened a second line and ported your number from whatever carrier you were on over. Because you have the ability to drop a line if you want to. That's one of the things about Boost Infinite. We're not going to sell you everything under the sun, including free lines to make you stay with the company. That's one of their slogans, their mottos is, if we're not for you and you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. Almost similar to Mobile X, how Mobile X says if they're not for you, they will help you go somewhere that works for you, right? So it's kind of in that context. But I know you're saying that because I'm saying that people can go elsewhere. Yeah. But for Stringer News 1, I say it to him only because that's not the first time that he's vented out frustrations. And I'm just wondering if he's still with them. And if not, if he's not with them and he's happy where he's at, then why waste energy on being mad about something that you're no longer a part of? You know? Yes. And it's not telco specific, right? No, it's not. Other companies have dealt with the same thing, right? It's just that thing, like the way that I feel about mobile tech nowadays and the way that I feel about the tech space is that everyone has the JG Wentworth complex. It's like, you know, I pay for this service and I want it now. And they don't care. Like, you know, one of the towers could have had like all the lines, you know, pecked up and destroyed by a hawk. They don't give a shit that the line is disconnected from the node. They expect a signal to output out of it. Like you want something that's physically impossible to do to be done for the sake of you. And it's like, no, it don't work that way. I'm a person that thinks on the logical side of things. And if I get a logical answer, I can draft up my own thoughts to think, you know, what it is and what it's not. But yeah. I just say that I generally hope that Stringer News 1 is somewhere else and not with Boost Infinite anymore. You know, but then again, you know, I also think about this thing that happens a lot in mobile tech too. When it comes down to that type of stuff, it's like everyone's mad, fuck this company, and they leave. I'm gone, go away. I'm gonna go. I'm happy with Verizon, and then let's say Boost Infinite pulls itself out of the shit, and then actually releases a tri network. Out of all those people that left because they were pissed off at the company, a good 45%, I'm going to see them post something about they're on Boost Infinite with a tri-network sim and it's excellent and they're connecting on, it's switching to Dish and AT&T. People bounce. Every time a company releases some big news, it's like a you know, the herd that just can't stay put. They're going to flock here, then go here, then go here, and then go here because something comes released. So even at the same time, while Boost Infinite loses customers, they're going to gain customers back when they make bigger changes to the company effectively. My only concern is that when they rebuilt their system, they didn't do it in the same stupid way they had it before, right? If they have this thing off in sections, right? If there's sectors to their system, so that way if one sector is breached, it could be sandboxed where it does not affect the other parts of the system. That's one way to kind of help make it a little harder for these guys to kind of go in and just completely take down the entire thing. And believe you me, if the subject was on Verizon, for those who think I'm going hard for Boost, if the subject was on Verizon, I would go hard for Verizon too. Because there's just certain things that are like, you have to think what's realistic and what's not realistic. And I don't blame companies for non-realistic situations, right? Things beyond their control. Like, I blame them for what their actions is. Is it their fault that, you know, they didn't consider better cybersecurity? Hell yeah, it's their fault. Hell yeah, it's their fault. We all hold them accountable for that. Just like we hold T-Mobile accountable for every time they get hacked. If a company doesn't foresee these types of things happening and try to, you know, mitigate that from taking a huge effect on them, they definitely deserve the crap that they get. Okay? Maybe I get in trouble for saying that. I don't know. But when a system is encrypted and they have no access to it, and I guess the reason why I'm adamant about what Bob Eugene said about, you know, taking a while for people to get their port out numbers to leave, I look more at the software engineers that had to rebuild the system completely up. You weren't awake 20 hours doing 20-hour shifts to get the system back up for customers. This is, I guess, the reason why that I kind of get annoyed with that type of talk. You weren't told by the big wig company to say, hey guys, we know you did a fantastic job maintaining our systems, but guess what? You now have to run 20-hour shifts because we need a system in place to run our company. We are not paying the ransom to get the system back. If they paid the ransom and got the system back, I understand a complaint of I have to wait so long to get my port pin. Okay, I get you. I agree with you. But for me, when you see these guys having to stay long shifts, they're away from their families. They're away from doing what you guys get to do on your free time. You know, this guy over here is crushing a keyboard, having to recode an entire system instead of enjoying a cold one, kicking his feet up and relaxing of a long day's work. I think that's what irritates me is like, you never think of the other person, only of yourselves. I like to meet in the middle. Yes, I want good service. I want my phone service to be good. I want to be paying my correct bill. I want to be treated with respect when I talk to customer service. But I'm not going to expect them to be like robots and perform like robots and forget that, you know, they're human beings just like me. And having to work those long hours, which I think was ridiculous. You know what I mean? But hey, they did it. Kudos to them. They did it. They built out a system, put it in place, and was able to get customer service back on running so you guys can yell at them, bitch at them, scream at them, call them dirty things, and then ask for your effing port pin. And when you get your effing port pin, you tell them, I hope your company goes to hell, and you go along right with them. And that's what someone has told me. Okay, so just also know where I'm coming from on that. I'm catching the shit too, dealing with stuff. I know it all too well. I've heard this time and time and over. I guess this is why I waited a little bit of a time before I spoke on this. Walk a mile in other people's shoes. Hold the company accountable for the things that they do, yes. But also remember, when you're talking to the customer reps on the phones, they don't have the power. They have a system, they're taught how to use it, and they use it. They don't have the power. They can't go above their team lead. Their team lead can't go above the manager. The manager can't go above the operations manager. The operations manager can't go above the site director. The site director can't go above the corporate liaison. The corporate liaison can't go over the, you know, the VPs and, you know, the COOs and the CEOs. There's a chain of command, people. You see how far customer service sits on that totem pole? Why would you ever expect for them to be able to have the power to do this? And I'm sorry if I'm ranting at this point, but that just tipped a freaking glass of water for me. I get fed up with it that like customer care reps are fucking zinged all the time, especially when they're good ones. I wouldn't wish it for the bad ones who are lazy, who are like, don't give a shit either. But come on now. If you worked at McDonald's, you wouldn't want me going in there screaming at you that you put one pickle less on my Big Mac than I usually get and fucking scream at you and throw the food in your face. That's the shit that we get. The difference is that people are brave over the phone and over chat. They can say what they want to us and they don't give a shit, care how we take it. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'll sound like a cocky son of a bitch right now when I say this. I'm pretty damn good at my job because you can cuss me out on the phone. You would never know I'm pissed off at you in the way that I continue our conversations. I do know how to bury that stuff and treat you with the utmost respect, even though you could be saying the lowest, dirtiest things to me. So, sorry, not sorry. I'm not asking for anyone's forgiveness for how I spoke in the last 10 minutes. But I just get kind of fed up with that type of stuff. Anyways. Anything else anyone wants to know about what's going on? I mean, dynamic switching, don't expect it anytime soon. So let's stop bitching about it and complaining about it. Understand this. The company needs money. Dish needs money. It takes money to grow. It takes money to build out a network. I'm not a network guru, but that's logical, right? You can't construct and erect a tower out of thin air. So if you can't erect a tower out of thin air, how do you expect to get 70% of the country covered? It's just not possible. You know, so if they can't do that, how are they going to get tri-network switching for everybody if they don't have a network themselves? Because AT&T and T-Mobile, that's just two networks. They can say dual switching. Maybe that's something that you guys are onto. Maybe some of you guys are onto that. Maybe, and I kind of agree with that. Hey, if you can't get tri-network, launch a dual network. I mean, BTech Reviews is on Boost Mobile right now with what should be on the AT&T connection because he uses the Boost One app to govern his plan. However, he's on T-Mobile in the town that he lives in. I don't know if he's ever said what town he lives in, so I'm not going to say it out of respect for his privacy. But you guys can go over to BTech Review's channel later on, and you guys can ask him, and he'll tell you about his Boost Mobile prepaid line that he got with his Galaxy A23 and how it's on T-Mobile rather than AT&T. So, I mean, he's able to connect. I think they should do that. That's my opinion. I think they should just open up dual switching for right now. Let us have the ability to switch between AT&T and T-Mobile in a time where one network is weaker than the other. And then when they get, Dish built out further to more markets, then open tri-network switching. What do you guys think of that? You tell me your guys' thought. Would you guys be okay right now if they released access to the B5G SIM card, aka the Rainbow SIM, and you had the switch capabilities between AT&T and T-Mobile's network? Would you guys want that right now? Yes or no? Chime in the comments. Yes or no? Tell me. It's like working for Elon. I don't know if it's like working for Elon. I can't speak to the fact I don't work for Twitter. So I don't know. I don't know. But these days there's a lot of social platforms, right? I'm sorry to say it, but like I don't have a problem using Twitter at all. But to the people that's bitching about Twitter and how Twitter is, go to like the same thing I say about Boost Infinite. Go somewhere else. Why are you on Twitter if you hate it so much? I don't understand it. Why do people stay when they hate something about it, right? There's a lot of social networks you can go on, right? You can go to Facebook. You can go to Instagram. You can go to Hive. You can go to Mastodon. You can go to Gab. You can go to, what's that other one? The one that got shut down for a little bit of time. I forgot what it's called. Parler. You can go to Parler. You can go to Fanbase. There's so much social media to go to. I don't understand why people stay in places that they hate. It's like, do you really hate this, or do you actually love the hate? Like, you love to be mad and negative all the time. And if you do, then that's not a good way to live. Bless your heart, but you must be near close to a heart attack. I think Boost is still a great company overall. I mean, their prices can't be beat. But you will always have some people complain about something. You have to take the good with the bad. Yeah. I mean, that's a given, right? I don't mind hearing the bad. And like I said, respectively to everybody that has an opinion, keep your opinion. That's why I tell them to go somewhere else. I want them to be happy. I'm not telling them to change their opinions on it. If they think Boost is the most fucked up company in the world, still stand by it. But what I don't like is when people try to change my opinions. Or if I speak in a different way that doesn't agree with them and then they want to continue on, it's like, I'm accepting your piece, accept my piece. If I ask you a question, because I want to know, like, I'm not calling anybody a liar. Like Stringer News 1, I'm not saying he's a liar, but I want to know. And I didn't get no answers back. I got answers of him saying that they're liars. He knows for a fact because he called his credit card company. Okay, yeah, you had money in your credit card. No one's disputing that. But my main question that I never got an answer to was, did he go somewhere else, or did she go somewhere else? That's the question. I never got an answer to that. And yeah, by the way, if you haven't figured it out, it's a whole new me. Like, I've had time to recharge about tech and everything like that. I'm doing the wrestling podcast. If you guys didn't know that, me and BTech Reviews launched a channel that talks specifically about wrestling, from WWE to AEW to Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro. And we just did a podcast earlier today. So like, it's like a recharge. I'm feeling a little bit better going into tech right now because I have a different subject, different topic that I talk about. So if I seem very forceful, if I seem very argumentative, in no way am I trying to be argumentative, but at the same time too, like, I'm also sick and tired of just listening to like one person's mentality on thing and no one ever challenging them. And it's not to challenge them because I want to beat them down. I don't ever want to do that. Like, everyone that comes to my live streams and comments and watches, like, I love you all. But when I challenge, it's because I'm trying to build bigger thoughts. I want people to think more. I'm trying to break the mold of this one thought fits all bullshit. Everyone could think differently. I like pixels. You guys may hate pixels. That's great. I don't want you guys to like them if you don't like them. But it seems like in a tech space, people are trying to confine everyone to think the fucking same way. And I disagree with that totally. And right now, I don't care if I lose friends because I don't think exactly like them anymore. If I don't think exactly like you and you don't like me anymore for that, you were never my friend to begin with. I want people to use their brains and think. Hell, if I turn out to be wrong, I would gladly accept being wrong about something and having this open engagement and open thought and everyone speak freely, because I will let you guys speak freely. Yes, there's consequences. If you start talking about my kids, you start talking about my wife, of course, you're going to get booted out of the live stream. But you can say fuck Boost Infinite and I'm not going to kick you out of here. I'd never do that to you. You can like what you like and dislike what you dislike. I firmly stand behind that statement. Hey, I'm not blowing smoke up anyone's ass or licking their ball sack. I'm telling you the straight, honest to God's truth. You could think however you want to think about a company, and you will never see me kick you out of any live stream that I'm on. You could think a certain way about smartphone. I will never kick you out of it. I think it's time that there's a channel that really allows that, right? Sneed's channel does it, and look how well it goes for him, right? He'll let you say what you want to say as long as you stay within bounds. You don't go out of pocket. You're interested in sumo wrestling? Are you for real? Are you just trolling right now? If AR's trolling, that's funny. If you're really interested in sumo wrestling, I guess I could talk to Mike about that. Speaking of which, let me I'm gonna pop the link into the chat so you guys can subscribe to that. B-Tech and myself, we literally went over our thoughts over WrestleMania 39 leading into Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania 39, and where we think the storyline's going with Cody Rhodes. All that stuff is all that stuff is on that podcast and everything. So let me see if I could. Hey, the Planet Earth is live. Shout out to him. Yeah, I'm on YouTube on another tab right now. I'm just kind of going through it. I'm gonna link you guys the channel itself, unless someone already linked it in there for me. If you guys have the link, but I will pull the channel up, and I think I passed it a little bit. There we go. All right, let me grab the channel link. All right, I'm gonna post it in the chat for you guys. You guys could subscribe to that channel. We don't go live every day, but we went live today, and I think we'll probably do another live maybe this weekend, like Saturday or Sunday, after SmackDown, because we are waiting for WWE SmackDown and see what happens with the rest of the storylines that, yeah. If I could have a service that could use all three networks, it would be game. But since all the situations with Dish and being in hot water and being in some serious trouble, if they were right now to just turn on the ability for you to smart switch between AT&T and T-Mobile, would you like that? Legendary Tech says, yes, I would. Cool. Anybody else agree that they should just turn on dual switching? Yeah, and after this live stream's over, you guys definitely go check out the podcast if you're into wrestling. I think we had a pretty cool show today, and I think we had some good insight. But I would love to get more people's insights on where you think these storylines might go and stuff like that. If you're into wrestling, or if you're just wanting to like watch something new, different with me and B-Tech. Definitely, because it's a breath of fresh air for us. Doing something different is like reinvigorating us on our own channels with tech, right? I hope I wasn't too rough on people. Hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. I'd like to think that you guys are very strong-willed and that I couldn't hurt your guys' feelings with words, but I don't want to assume and be an asshole. So, but yeah, sumo is real. Wait, hold on. Sumo is real. WWF. Well, yeah, no, the storylines are fake. The stuff is real. As far as like the hits and stuff like that, I would say that's pretty real. I mean, one of the matches was Finn Balor versus Edge, and when Edge threw the ladder at Finn Balor's head, he actually had a really deep gash you can almost see to his skull. I don't think that's fake. That injury is pretty damn real to me, but the storylines are fake and everything. Of course it is. You know, it's male soap opera, right? I used to tell my mom that because my mom, when I was young, she used to ask me, like, why do you watch wrestling? I'm like, why do you watch All My Children? That's a drama show that's fake. Wrestling is like the male drama show. It has action, it has story, it has dramatics, emotions, it has climactic glory points, and the lowest of the low climactic points. It has it all. And then we also talked about Endeavor purchasing WWE and UFC and merging the companies together. And what's that spell now that WWE is no longer owned privately by the McMahons? It's owned by Endeavor. We talked about all that. If you guys are interested, like I said, the link is right there. Go check us out. We're still building on the channel itself. I'm gonna start putting up videos about like specific wrestlers, their backstories, their personal, gains and growth. Like a dossier on specific wrestlers that I think deserve to be in the spotlight and stuff like that. We're gonna do those things. We're gonna do. Of course, our podcast reviews over pay-per-views and Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, all those things. We're going to be doing all that. And I think it's cool that I do that because it steps me away from the tech, allows me to come back in refreshed. And vice versa. I won't get so burned out with wrestling because I'll have the tech stuff to talk to you guys about. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an hour of the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I appreciate all of you for being here. Shout outs to those that watched the live, and you guys are my day ones. Appreciate you guys. Those that watch the replay crew, hashtag replay crew. That way I know you made it all the way to the end of this live stream. If you felt offended in any way, please comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know why you disagree with me. You're not going to get penalized for it. I'll actually appraise you for doing it. Let's build some real fucking dialogue from this point going forward and let everyone have a voice on it. And let's have different thought processes come in a melting pot. That's the way shit should fucking be in tech. And that is my stand in this new direction that I'm going. All right? Aloha Android is dead. Don't ask me to bring the fucking name back. I'm not going to switch it up to no any other bullshit name. You're getting me. You guys are now getting me and only me because I can only be good at being me. And that is the change that's happening to this channel. That is the change that's happening to every one of my social media accounts. If y'all can respect that, y'all are solid. And you will always have my respect as well because I wouldn't have shit without you guys. So the respect goes both ways. All right. I still want people to feel valued though. And there's some of a degree of apology that is given. But from this point forward, it's just me, guys. And I want to talk about what I want to talk about with tech, with games, with the nerd shit. That's who I am. And I'm going to start talking about it. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. But don't hold back your guys' stuff. Feel free. Because like I said, and I promise you this, I will never ban you for having a thought. The only thing that I ask that is considered out of pocket, out of bounds, is to keep my family out, keep my kids out. That's it. I don't care if y'all talk shit about me. It's totally cool with me. I could care less. I love myself, so I know who I am at the end of the day. That's what I told a troll the other day, and they didn't like that. So, and what's it when people try to send D-pics to guys when they're mad? Like, have we come to an all-time low? We don't say something like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass or something. Now it's like, oh, I'm mad at you. Let me take a picture of my thing and send it to you. Like, what the fudge? I don't know where this generation has gone, but man, it has gone in some crazy ways. But I will see you guys probably this weekend, if not next week, Tuesday. I'll see you guys on another live stream. Until then, drop your comments. You guys can pitch some ideas too, what you guys want me to live stream about. Throw them in the comments. Let me know. I won't know unless you speak up. I'll talk to y'all later. As always,